In the city of Denver, Colorado, there lived a thin, tired, but kind-hearted man named Ethan Cole. Every morning, when people drove off to their offices in shiny cars, Ethan worked in a small, dusty workshop, changing old tires, greasing engines, and wiping sweat from his forehead. Low salary, a tiny, broken room to live in, and one silent desire inside. I wish my life could change. Maybe one day I can become someone. But the truth was painful. He had no money, no degree, no contacts, only a tired heart and a hope that refused to die. Every night he stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Why was I even born if nothing great is meant for me?" One day, everything fell apart. One cold night when Ethan reached home, his landlord was standing at the door. "You were supposed to pay rent today. I'm sorry, Ethan. You need to vacate the room." His last shelter, gone. Ethan sat on the sidewalk and cried like a child. This was his lowest point in life, rock bottom. But life has a strange way. Sometimes when it breaks you, it is actually preparing you for your new beginning. Turning point. One sentence that changed everything. The next morning, Ethan was sitting outside a coffee shop when an old man passed by. He looked at Ethan and said gently, "Son, if you can survive this day, you can survive anything." It was a simple sentence, but it hit Ethan's heart like lightning. He stood up, wiped his tears, and whispered, "I will not give up. Never." Ethan made a decision. Whatever he lacked in life, education, he would build it himself. He began spending hours in the public library, reading books about growth and success. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, The Power of Discipline. He watched YouTube tutorials on online business, marketing, freelancing, and sales. Nights, working in the workshop. Days, learning. Weekends, small freelance jobs. Slowly, his life started to shift. The first real opportunity. The real change came when a company offered him a small job as a digital marketing assistant. Ethan worked day and night, as if this was his last chance in life. He put extra effort into every task, prepared every report with perfection. Within 3 months, he was hired full-time. He was no longer the workshop guy. He had become a marketing professional. Rapid growth. The million-dollar idea. 2 years later, Ethan launched his own online marketing agency, Cole Media Solutions. He started with 3 clients, then 10, then 50, until one night he saw his first $100,000 income on the screen. He couldn't hold back his tears. He laughed, cried, and thanked God. That night changed him forever. Luxury life, the final transformation. Today, Ethan lives in the beautiful upscale area of Cherry Creek in Colorado, a modern glass wall villa, Range Rover and Mustang GT in the garage, his own private office, vacations at Miami Beach, business class flights, and a peace he once thought he would never have. One evening, while sitting on his balcony, he smiled and said, If I had given up that day, none of this would have happened. He looked at the sky and whispered, "Thank you for the hardest days, because they made me the strongest man." The message of this story? Poverty is not a curse. Hard times are not your enemies. Discipline and hope change destinies. And hard work always pays off.